Welcome back to a new episode of my Wunder Werken Knitting podcast. I'm glad to see you again, and I thought my work starts late today. I could use the time to make a new podcast episode because the light situation is very nice. It's sunny, but it's so early in the day it's not too bright. And my last video was a kind of vlog styled podcast, and I thought I will do a traditional one again. It was nice to film, but I think it was a little bit chaotic to watch and much more work to edit. Okay, let's start with what I'm wearing. I think I can't wear it the whole episode because it's very warm. This is my Beatrix cardigan, and about this cardigan is my vlog, and I think I talked you through all of it. I love it. I have worn it since I finished it quite a lot. But I think the fit is not perfect. I will stand up, and I don't know if you can show, but I think it could be a little bit more cropped. So it's boxy, it's very wide, and a little bit too long. But it's knitted top down, so if it bothered me too much, I can unravel it, but the texture and the wool is very nice. I made it out of Hjellholz Ullspinderi Handwerksgarn, and it's very soft, so it's a rustic yarn, but I love rustic yarns, and for rustic yarn it's very soft and it softens up while blocking a lot. I love the look with these. These are plastic buttons, but shiny white ones. I had some issues with the pattern, but it's all in the last episode. So I think we could start with finished objects. I will have a look to my notes, and I have I showed it in the last vlog, but this is the anemone sweater kids or baby version. It's a 1 year size, and I finished it before I edited the last episode, so I put in some pictures, but I haven't shown it in a video. I made this one out of my hand spun white local wool and with some scraps, and this green yarn is also hand spun. Very exciting. But the floats, because of this kind of pattern, are very long, and I tried to catch them in the first part, but you definitely can see where I catch or caught the floats, and because of the quite high contrast, it doesn't look nice. So I need to fix these floats on the back side with a crochet hook or with a sewing needle or something like this, because for these small people, they have so small hands, and they will definitely catch the floats, and it's not practical. So before this one goes to a friend of mine for I will borrow this to her until her daughter is grown out of it, but before I need to fix the float thing. And it's a very nice and cute pattern, but it's not that practical for smaller babies or kids. Okay, next finished object. It's my Vossol number 3. This beauty. It isn't blocked, so I switched up the color work to a 2-color color work. The pattern calls or asks for 3 colors. I will blend you in a picture of one of the Vossol jackets I made before, so you can see the difference. I got some very nice mother of pearl buttons at Selfmade in Lübeck, and yeah, this one was I get paid for making it, and so I didn't block it because she needs to do it herself, because I don't know her exact measurements. And with these Icelandic lead lopi, it works in the washing machine on the wool wash program. And yeah, so I made it out of lead lopi in 2 different colors. It's all in my Revelry project. If you like to know which colors exactly I used, I made size 2. It's an S. This pattern has only 4 sizes, or it's an old Icelandic and not size inclusive pattern. It's a sticking project, so you work in the round all the way. It's bottom up, so all the way up, and then you stick it and you work this seed stitch. It's not classic, but it's very nice seed stitch button band, and it's a very dark yarn, but and a placket for sticking placket. I don't know, it's the right word. So to hide the cut, the ends of the cutted fabric. Yeah, I like to knit this pattern. I think I mentioned before, it's nice to stick it because you can work in the round, but I think I love to knit sweaters and not jackets or cardigans. The same with this one. I thought it would be very nice to wear the cardigan. We will see. Yeah. Okay. Oh, I think this is all about the Vossol. Okay, and my next 2 finished objects I don't have with me, because one is the Nikki skirt. It was the birthday present for my sister. I will blend you in the picture. I asked her a few weeks before her birthday if she would like to have some knitted stuff from me, because she knits herself, but she hasn't that much time for knitting, so she loves I think she loves when I am knitting for her. And she bought the Cascade Grande and a very red, I think it's Fire, called Fire, the colorway, in a very red color, and she would love to knit the Nikki skirt. And then she said, oh, it would be nice if you can knit this skirt for me. So I got the wool 2 weeks before her birthday, so I knitted the skirt up in a week. It's a very big gauge, so I knitted this up on 7mm needles, so the pattern asks for 6mm needles, and it's this weaving basket stitch pattern, but I made one garment before and it was a little bit different, because in this kind of pattern you work yarn overs for the holes between the squares. And in my last weaving basket project, you don't work these holes. I think I like the look of both of them, because in this skirt it looks very nice with the yarn over holes, but for another garment it would be a little bit too see-through. You work not double knitted, but a folded waistband, and so you work flat and then you fold it over and knit to it was made with a Judy, or I made it with a Judy's Magic cast on, and then you worked 2 stitches together to close it. I adapted the pattern to a buttonhole or little hole to put in the elastic, and so my sister could change the elastic or the width of the elastic, and was very hard on my hands. I never felt before, so I am working the Icelandic sweaters in Alafoslopi, and this is a very thick yarn, but it's not that stiff because the Icelandic wool isn't that much plied, so it's a plied yarn, but you can't really tell it's plied. And the Cascade 220 Grande is very plied and plump and stiff. So I think for this kind of skirt it's very nice, but it was very hard on my hands, and I need to take rest every few rounds, so I pushed through it because I would love to gift it on her birthday, and I think now the weather is nice enough to wear it. Yeah, I don't need this kind of skirt in my wardrobe, so I don't think I will work this pattern again, maybe for another present. So it gets too warm for me on this point, so I need to change my wardrobe. This sweater is very nice. It's not knitted, but I got it as a present from my best friend's mother, and it's a perfect spring garment. Okay, this was all about my Nikki skirt, and another finished object I don't have with me anymore are my, I called them Opas Socken, so my grandpa's socks. My grandfather is old and not that fit, and he gets very cold in the evenings and when he goes to bed. So my grandmother asked me if I would love to, or if I could knit him socks, and I would love to knit him socks because my grandparents aren't that knit worthy. Yeah, and it was nice to have something they would love to have, or he would love to have. So I made some classic socks without any special things, not that high calf or leg. I will put you in a picture. The blue ones are the ones that I'm talking about. I made them out of the Alpaca 2 by Isaiah. Colorway and dye lot are in my Ravelry project, and it's not a sock yarn, and it's a light fingering, or it's a fingering? No, it's a light fingering yarn, and I held the yarn double. I bought 2 skeins, so 100 gram, and I have some left over, and I thought this yarn is very soft and very warm, and if he only wear these socks to bed or on the couch, or yeah, he doesn't walk much, only from the couch to the bed and to the bathroom. So yeah, and he received them and he loves them, and it's very, very nice to make something he would love to, or he loves to wear. Yeah, and because of this sock I knitted up very fast, because it was a kind of DK weight or sport weight sock. I made them on 3.5mm needles, and it was very quick. It's interesting how much faster I can knit socks on a slightly bigger gauge than the 4-ply fingering socks. Yeah, and because of these socks I put my March socks away and knitted these socks, and I casted on another pair of socks, so my plans are a little bit chaotic for my 12 pairs of socks. So if you don't know, I would love to knit 12 pairs in the year 2025. I don't see it I don't push myself through a pair of each month, because I know some months I love to knit 2 pairs and some maybe no pair. So 12 pairs in 1 year, that's the goal. And I'm in a sock club Instagram group by making Casey, and the plan was of her is also to knit 12 pairs. So my March socks are the Opa socken, the blue ones are out of the alpaca too, and then I finished, and I will be there in a minute because I forgot to bring them with me to the filming setup here. Okay, and my April socks are now the Quilty cabin socks. Most of them I made in March. There is a Quilty cabin sock mini knit along by Julia. Oh, I don't know her handle. I will put it on the screen. She's also Hamburg knit influencer, and by Marlene Knits. And yeah, I thought, I think I told you on the blog, my first pair of this year, the January socks, were the Quilty cabin socks too, but I felt them a few weeks after I finished them in the washing machine accidentally. My cat's a little bit disturbing something on the balcony. Okay, so we cast it on together. It's only an Instagram chat group, but on the 22nd of March, and this knit along runs 2 months, and I bought this very nice pale or rose color by Mondim a week before, and I'm not a pink person. I think this color don't suit me, and I love it, but not for garments. And I thought it's a perfect match to make some socks out of a nice rose or pink color. I messed up a little bit, but I don't care. If you can tell, I worked one cuff 15 rounds and one 20. This is the 20, this is the 15. I was at work and I forgot about it. I thought I made 20 rounds, and yeah, but I changed the length of the leg to fit the exact, so this is the same length, while the cuff length isn't the same, so the color work is a little bit different. But these are socks, so I would love to wear them, and it's not important to be exactly the same. I made a slip stitch heel. This kind of slip stitch is where you slip every second round the second stitch and every fourth round the other one, so the first and third stitch. And it's not honeycomb, but it looks a little bit like so sorry, this is, yeah, and it's a heel flap and gusset like always, and I have worn them in my Birkenstocks some days, but not that often, and I am very happy about them. The contrast color is Aveta, Filcolana Aveta in a dark brown. So I think with these pink it looks much more charcoal or black, but it's a dark brown. I don't know if you can tell. And I made my Ovis socks out of it. And I don't like the Aveta for socks because they are too fluffy. The color work doesn't look nice. Yeah, no, I don't like it, and I think I will work something else or some color work out of the rest or the leftovers. Okay, these are my finished objects. Sorry, it's, oh no, my clematis vest. I will blend you in some pictures because it's in the water bath. I will block it. I finished it before the last weekend, and then we were with my family away, and I have worn it, so I haven't the time to block it, and I am blocking it now. I made the clematis vest by Emma Knits. I got the pattern and the yarn from my sister in my countdown calendar last year, and I thought I need to finish a long-term whip first before I could start this one, but no, I don't get through it. I don't know if I ever will get through it, so I cast it on, and I think I only need a week of knitting. It's a very interesting construction. It's not that complicated. It has a button placket from one shoulder to the other hip. I cropped it a little bit, and I worked the size 4. I was between sizes, so I chose the smaller one. I would love to have a more fitted one, and I think the fit was perfect. We will see after blocking if it will grow. But it's made out of Rosario for Belmonte. It's a 50-50 wool and cotton blend, and the designer made her sample out of the same colorway, and it looks very nice. It's a pale, very nice green, and I changed I cropped it, and I put one buttonhole or button more into the button placket, because I thought if it's more fitted, then the button placket won't be that open if the buttonholes are not that wide. And my sister gifted me 5 buttons, and I made 6, and the first one is a little mother of pearl heart. My grandmother gifted it years, so 10 to 15 years ago to me. I don't know if she remember it, but I think it's very nice. Okay, this is my last finished object. I have knitted it on 4.5 millimeter needles, I think. So I went up only half a needle size, not in the whole one. And I have had some gauge problems because my stitch gauge was spot on and my row gauge was way off. But the pattern has some information what to do if this is the case, and I think I understand enough about pattern constructions because so with the armhole depth and width to change it on my own. So I think I don't have the correct stitch amount when I worked in the, no, it's not round, but where you join the front sides and the back side, because it's a button placket. You work in rows. I will have the information, or will have a look at the information which needle size I used. Yeah, it's a 4.5 millimeter, and I only used 4 balls. I think my sister gifted me 6 balls, and I only used 3 and a little bit of the 4th, but I will put the whole amount in my Reverie project. Okay, let's go into my whips. My first whip, it's not that interesting. You have seen it on the photo of my grandpa's socks. This is the first Linnea sock. These were my first March socks, but yeah, if you see, I haven't finished them. I put them on hibernation. I don't know. This is the cuff of the second sock, and it's a very complicated. So yeah, it's not that it's complicated, and you have to work cables with 1 stitch every row. So not every row, every second row, to get these nice cables. But there are, I think 5 cables around, so it's a little bit fiddly. But I love the look, and I am looking forward to work this one. But I haven't touched them since the middle of March. I'm working these out of Schoppelwolle Admiral 4-ply. It's a German brand. Some plastic is in there. I think 20 or 15% nylon or polyamide, and the rest is wool, and the color is Feuerrot, so fire red, and yeah. I don't think there is more to talk about. Maybe when they will be finished, but it's a sock pattern. I changed this sock pattern to work them cuff down. Yeah. Okay. My whip, I talked a little bit about it. This is the Tuileries Polo, and I worked some rows, so this little part, but I worked on it. It's out of Lino Mocha, and this is a 100% linen yarn by Wollin Berlin, and it's this thread. These are 2 strands. I don't like to knit with this yarn on its own or lace. I will talk later about it, swatch with on stockinette. Maybe this will be nicer. And I put this project on hibernation over the winter time, and I thought, okay, I will start it now. And then there are some problems with the pattern, and it demotivated me so much. And I thought I will work the measurements on my own and only take the construction out of the pattern, but yeah, and it's so much I worked on it. I need to finish it, but I don't know if I could. So not much about it, but I started again on it, but on the last 2 weeks I don't work on it, or didn't work on it. And the same with my 2x2 panty. Yeah, it's a panty pattern. And looks very nice on the designer's photos, so this one doesn't look very nice. So I barely started the front. It's out of cotton merino on a 3mm needle, and it's not complicated, it's boring. So I think this is the problem about it. And maybe I don't look that much forward to have the finished object. Okay. But to the more exciting whips. This one is a little bit tangled. I will show you. This small little one. It's the Seaside Sweater by Petite Knit, off gauge. So maybe this. Here's a button placard, so it's not that easy to show. And I am working on, so I need to play yarn chicken. That's because, yeah, I started the sleeve before I finished the hem, but now I am on there are only 2 rows left and the bind off. The best friend of my sister is expecting a baby, and I would love to knit her some things. So this wool is out of my stash from my sister. I looked through the stash and looked for some superwash yarn because I know the friend. She loves wool, but I think it's a little bit chaotic at her home, and if there will be a baby, when there will be a baby, I think it's easier with superwash wool. And I don't know what this one is. A Katja yarn. It's a Katja merino yarn superwash, and the yellow one, I don't know, it was some old brand from a flea market. And I have 2 bowls, so 100 grams of the blue and 50 grams of the yellow one, and the yellow one is slightly thicker, so I worked 3 rows of the yellow one and 5 rows of the blue one, and there is only a little bit more blue. Yeah. Because it's off gauge, so I worked on a 4.5mm needle, the first size, and I ended up on the measurements for the last size, so 12 to 18 months. Yeah. Oh, it's a nice pattern. It's an easy and classic look, and it's very cute with these buttons. So I think when this is finished, it's way more easier to show you. Yeah. Okay. Seaside Sweater. There's not enough yarn of this colorway to work the pants, and I think for children's pants it's way more practical to have ribbed ones, so it looks very nice, but ribbed ones will fit much more, much longer, and yeah, it's easier to wear them because you don't need sorry of the noises outside. You don't need to, if you work a ribbed pant for a baby, you don't need to make an elastic band in there. I will close my door. Okay. And then my last work in progress. I cast this on last week, and I swatched for the contrast color with 5 or 6 different colors, so I couldn't decide. This is my Vitra sweater by Anna Hjörsvärd. I don't know if I pronounce it right. I don't think so. She's a very nice and kind designer from Sweden, and she works with rustic yarns. She always crop her sweaters, so I need to have a look how long I would love to have my Vitra. I worked only 5 centimeters under the arm, so I finished the yoke, and I changed some things. So here it's a new it was a new technique for me to work a Latvian braid, and there was a tutorial linked in the pattern and a description in the pattern, and they were different only because in the video tutorial there was a setup round, and in her pattern there wasn't a setup round. And I worked the first Latvian braid to the tutorial, so with the setup round, and I like the look more, but it's also a little bit thicker, and yeah. And then I started the second braid, and in the pattern you have to work color work between the braids, and it was too much. On her sample it doesn't look that much of color work, but on some other Reverie project I thought, oh, I think I changed some things for what I like more. So I don't work the color work between the braids, and I changed the middle braid or the second braid only for 1/2 Latvian braid. So I only worked the and without a setup row. So I only worked the second row of the Latvian braid, and then I worked some rounds of stockinette and the second Latvian braid with the setup row, and then I worked this color work. And if you can tell, here's a hole, because when I started, so it's the first part is rounded yoke construction, and then it goes to raglan. So that's a kind of Anna's pattern to fit the best without. And I made 5 raglan lines, and I didn't mention it for 7 rounds or something like this, and the 5th raglan line was the front line, so I I messed up, but I don't want to rib it back, so I only rib back the raglan stitches, and I now have some work to do. I started it, but I put a little bit too much tension to it, so these stitches. So I don't think it's mentioned, you can see it after I finished it, but there is some work to do, and yeah, I am looking so much forward to wear it. I think it's too warm for the temperatures right now, but yeah, now it's the easy part to do, to work the body and the sleeves, and on the hem there is another Latvian braid, and I think it's a very nice detail and it's very nice in this burgundy red. I am working, so the pattern calls for lead lopi, and I am working with one strand of Einband by Istex and one strand of the unspun Platolopi by Einband. So these are the same color, not every color you can get in the same colorway. So no. There is a color difference between each, what's the name? For the fingering, to the worsted, to the Aran. Sorry. But this very nice beigey brown heather you can get in Einband and in Platolopi. And for this one I got some, this is Platolopi held double, so it's way more thicker, and this is because this is the reason why my color work looks much more thicker or voluminous. I will blend you in the word I am thinking of. And I thought I purchased a very red, fire red Einband, and I thought it could look nice, and I will put you in a picture of my swatch, and yeah, in the end this dark red looks very nice on its own, so I held it double, and I think it's good enough, or it's very good for this smaller section of color work. If it's would be a all over color work, I think the difference would be more mentionable. I don't know. Okay. Yeah, I am working on 5.5 millimeter needles. Yeah, I think that's all about my vitra. These are my works in progress, and now I will share with you some plans and acquisitions. So I will start with the acquisitions I don't have any plan with. I told you before I was at my first time at a self-made market, and I got 3 different colorways of the Freya Mindful, and of this very nice red or rust red I got 2 skeins, and then this yarn is very nice, and this is a very light green, and I thought they will look nice together in a color work, or maybe I will work them up in different projects. Yeah, it's a light fingering weight, so I think I will work held a double, but we will see. And this is the project I told you before. This is the Lino Mocha I caked up in another colorway. This is 100% linen yarn, and I caked it up held double, and I will swatch with it in stockinette for a summer top. I have 2 ideas, and no, this is for another yarn, sorry. Because I think maybe in stockinette it's nice enough, or it's, yeah, to work it on its own. And if it's not, I will have a look if there will be a cotton blend, so summer yarn, only plant-based yarn, the same colorway, so maybe cotton or some tynn. I think I looked online for the tynn colors, and yeah, it's a beigey gray, so it's a very nice color, but I don't think it's a typical colorway to find some matching yarn. Yeah. Okay. And then I got on my trip from the weekend this very nice and green Jawoll. It's a sock yarn by Lang Yarns, and I got 2 skeins of this. And on the Quilty cabin sock chat, there was one person who worked her Quilty cabin socks in this main color with a beigey or white quilting stars, and looks very, very nice. So maybe I will do this, or I have some idea of an all color work sock. And maybe this color could be nice for this. Yeah, but it's I have enough to work all over green, so green as the main color sock. And the second yarn I got on the, so there was a discount on the on some, sorry my cats, some, what's the word for the different yarn weights? Oh. But this Wool Addict's Joy was on discount, and it's a 100% plant fiber, so it's 50% lyocell viscose and 50% cotton, and it's an Aran weight yarn, so because it's plant fiber, I think the yarn is heavier for the meterage you get, so it's not that thick. I don't know if you can tell, but if you have some wool Aran weight yarn, it looks very thicker, or way more thicker, and this nice blue. And I only got 5 skeins, and I will work the Sugar Boo bralette or the Prairie Rose singlet. I will blend you in some pictures. I only looked for the right amount of yardage or meterage and the right amount, the right yarn weight, and these patterns look nice, and I think it will be enough 5 skeins to work this. And I think this will be my next cast on, because it's summer yarn, but not on a small needle. Yeah, this is my Wool Addict Joy. I never worked so with some Lang yarns, but I'm not into this commercial Lang yarn. There are so much different yarns by Lang yarns, so I don't know the difference of the Wool or the Addicts or the Lang yarn, yeah, other brands. And my last plan, and I don't know, maybe I will start next weekend, is a hat, a fisherman ribbed hat. So for my partner, I made him for Christmas a zipper sweater out of this yarn, and I asked him if he would love to have a hat or something else out of the rest. So I don't know how much it is, but I think it's enough to work a hat, and I haven't started yet, and his birthday is in 6 days, so I won't finish it, but maybe I will cast on his birthday. I think this is all my acquisition or my plans. I have on my list the Prato socks. It's by Marie Eve or something. In her skein is her Instagram handle, and there is a pattern called Prato socks out of Mondim in a nice green colorway with some floral textured cuff. And I thought these one will be my April socks. I thought it would be nice in this colorway for April, but then I couldn't finish the red Linnea socks and worked the Quilty cabin socks, and yeah, I think these Prato socks need to wait, but I have the Mondim in my stash already, and then I think I'm craving for a little scarf, not a Sophie scarf, a more triangular. There was a beige and beige color work. Sorry, my cat. Too dumb to get in. Color work one, or by Lene Holme Samsø, some lace ones. And then I looked through my library, and I already got the pattern for the scarf number 1 by my favorite things knitwear, and I have some nein, Fritz, that's not nice for cats. I got for Christmas a 50-gram skein of the Malabrigo lace in a light purple rose color, and I thought it would be nice to have it double to work a kind of scarf, for like a bandana, so I can wear it on my as a neck accessory or on my head. Yeah, we will see, but these are my plans, and I'm looking forward. I started to spin my sweater spin, but I only worked a little bit, so at the moment I'm more into knitting, but that's okay. Yeah, thank you for being here. If you would like to support me or my channel, please give me a follow or subscribe to my channel on YouTube or on Instagram, and maybe you could leave a comment and like. Okay, the spring summer knits. Bye bye.